Adjourned. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Village of Bartlett Committee of the Whole meeting for May 17, 2022. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to again please call the roll.
Trustee Daney?
Yes, here.
Gansey?
Here.
Gunstein? Here. Hopkins? Ranky?
Present.
Sawansky?
Here.
President Wallace.
Here. One item on our agenda this evening under Building and Zoning, Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. We have one item, and that is the amending Municipal Code Title 10, the zoning ordinance, Cannabis Dispensary Center. As discussed at the Committee of the Whole meeting on March 15, 2022, below are the proposed text amendments to the zoning ordinance pertaining to adult use and medical cannabis dispensing centers. The 1,000-foot distance requirement would be removed from the definitions. Said use would be allowed as a special use in the B2, local convenient, B3 neighborhood shopping centers, and B4 community shopping center zoning districts. Said uses would be prohibited in the downtown overlay district, including the Bartlett Town Center, Main Street Plaza, and streets of Bartlett. And the findings of fact for a special use permit would be updated to delete the distance requirement. Currently, adult use and medical cannabis dispensing centers are prohibited in the B1 Village Center zoning district and will continue to be prohibited as directed by the Village Board. Staff is recommending feedback from the Village Board on removing the limit of one adult use dispensing centers within the Blue Heron Business Park, Bluff City Industrial Park, and one within the Brewster Creek Business Park zoning district.
Have we had any interest in any of these areas at all at this point in time?
Not yet.
Nothing.
Well, we've had a few in Brewster Creek Business Park, but we've had no official plans submitted.
Yeah.
Right. There haven't been any.
Thanks.
There haven't been any formal applications, as Roberta alluded to, but there've been a fair amount of inquiries, and where we've read to them what the regulations are and the prohibitions, which really is one of the reasons they haven't yet to date moved forward with any applications. So there is some interest out there.
Well, my question also is, if you had more than one firm be interested in the respective business districts?
Yes. There have been, I'm sorry about that, there have been multiple inquiries.
And at different sites. in the
Different sites.
Brewster
Different
Creek Business
sites.
Park,
Yeah,
right. so-
talking about one specific area. I don't remember, what was the reason that we restricted it to one in those areas?
I think the board at the time just wanted to have just one cultivation center possibly and one dispensary in each of those. They didn't want to have more than that.
But we'd have an opportunity to review that if there was interest with it being a special use.
Well, we'd have to do a text amendment because this is the current code right now.
It's prohibited in the code
Right.
currently, so you'd have to do a text.
Yeah.
So I think what staff is asking, we currently, with this proposed text amendment, not limiting it in any of the commercial districts, so I'm asking, why would you want to limit it in the industrial?
I don't see any,
No.
yeah, I think we
There's
don't
no
have
reason
to
to.
limit it.
We shouldn't.
No.
Can you bring up the map that's on, it was in your packet, I didn't bring my computer to share that screen, I'm sorry. The downtown overlay map is in your packet. Mm-hmm. Do you have questions on that location?
Well, you've got in red here, a B3 and I see a B3 and a B3 PUD at Devon and,
That is Streets of Bartlett.
but they would not be allowed there, correct?
That is correct. They would not be allowed in the PD, the town center, and the Main Street Plaza Shopping Center, which is directly south of Village Hall.
We could allow it as a special use. Is it?
No,
I'm reading
that's-
this bullet point, it said
No.
uses would be allowed as special use in the B2 and B3?
No. So
We're keeping it out of the Bartlett Town Center.
if you look at C, C said uses would be
That's what I'm-
prohibited in the downtown overlay. Thank you, Chris. So this is the map of the downtown overlay. It would be prohibited in this entire area.
Does anyone have any issues with that?
I do not.
And we are not going to restrict or limit in any of our industrial parks to one permit.
Okay. So we could eliminate, you're proposing to eliminate that, okay.
Eliminate that language.
And do you think that will help spark some further interest?
I hope so.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, how are you guys? Thanks for. Hi, everyone. My name is Steve Shromsky. Thank you for inviting me out here today. Didn't think 5 years ago that I'd be in front of another municipality trying to explain this new industry that we have here in the state of Illinois with cannabis. Sorry, so let me back up. I actually am representing the Bartlett Town Center across the street. I was brought on as a leasing agent. I work for a family firm, Troy Realty, based on the northwest side of the city, and randomly I've been dealing with a few of these dispensary deals in various municipalities throughout all of Chicagoland, pretty much. And it's funny, I'm working on another location up in Park Ridge area, and at that meeting, we proposed the dispensary to be on the literal, most outer skirt intersection of the village of Park Ridge. And in that village meeting, they ended up actually, most of the comments from constituents and residents of the Park Ridge were asking, why isn't it in the center of the downtown Park Ridge area? And so what I'm finding out is a lot of this is becoming just an educational process. It's new to all of us. It's a new business. You know, all these zoning codes and the whole process with the licensing and whatnot is all very confusing. It's all being held up in litigation in the state. And so realistically, there's actually no one right now that has a license to open up a dispensary anywhere in the state of Illinois. Any licenses that are available, they're all tied up currently in litigation. So what I wanted to just come tonight before you guys and kind of give my 2 cents, and I'm here as strictly a realtor, and I actually did just get the property management of the town center across the street. So hopefully my main goal is to bring life to the center. It's a beautiful plaza. You guys did a beautiful job with this building, and I'd love to, get some life into the center across the street. I understand there's concerns for putting a dispensary in your center that's in the heart of your downtown area. It's natural, but no matter where you end up putting it, there's always going to be people on the opposition, and that's what I've come to realize very easily. The only reason why the main reason I wanted to come out here tonight was to express my thoughts when I first got the leasing assignment for Bartlett Town Center across the street. It needs some loving. It needs someone to really put in some effort and figure out what's going to be the best use here to bring life to the center, to bring walk traffic, etc. And randomly, I was walking around the building one of my first times out here, and it just dawned on me. I'm like looking at the metro station, I'm looking at the police station right across the street, town hall right across the street. So I just sparked something in my head, and I made a few phone calls, and sure enough, one of the better operators, in my opinion, in the state right now with their licenses in hand reached out or got back to me, and we started putting together a little plan to come and pitch it to you guys. Unfortunately, we canceled it at the last March 15th meeting at the last minute because we were under the impression that there was some opposition, but me being myself, I didn't want to just give up without at least throwing out my opinion and because this is really an educational process with just dispensaries in general. I don't know if anyone on the board has been inside one of the newer ones that have opened up in the state, but they're very vibrant, very secure. It's almost like an Apple store, if you will, the way they build these out, and especially with the potential tenant that we have interested, that's the only spot in Bartlett that they wanted to go to was because of its location, because of its proximity to the police station, Village Hall, Metra. I ran a few different centers across them, and there was, it's little to zero interest, and this has randomly become quite a big field that I've been dealing in with. I mentioned the one in Park Ridge. I have a few others in the works. And so I wanted to just come introduce myself tonight to, open up for any questions I might be able to answer or at least point you in the right direction. But again, I'm here as strictly with my realtor hat on. I can't speak on behalf of the dispensary operator. I can try my best to answer any questions if there are any. But, and lastly, the one other thing I wanted to mention was this is an evolving process, if you will. So I was out in Oregon a couple months back, and I've been in San Francisco, Colorado, all the states that legalized this 5-10 years ago. And when you walk down in downtown Portland, for instance, there's a dispensary on every single intersection. They're more prevalent than Starbucks. And so my thought process is if you were to prohibit it in the downtown area for now, that's one thing, but in a few years, the way that I see all the trends going, you're going to have to reverse it, in 3 or 4 years once it becomes more prevalent around here. It's being a new industry in the state. It's not the easiest thing to get residents on board with, and again, very understandable. But again, going back to having the police station right across the street, I thought it was a phenomenal idea, just very secure. Metra, again, but like I said, if you look at the major cities over in the East and West Coast that have been a few years ahead of us, they're so prevalent that I think that's where we're trending to in Illinois. And actually, there was one that was trying to relocate in the city of Chicago to the Rainforest Cafe building that recently closed down. And they actually were not permitted to go there because there's 3 other dispensaries within 1,500 feet of it. So it's already kind of trending that way. And so I thought it was, I wanted to come here and just open it up for discussions and see if there's anything I can answer. I'm not going to be upset either way, but just wanted to kind of introduce myself. Hopefully I'll be seeing a lot more of me. Hopefully I get something going in and over there. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents.
All right, well, thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, of course.
Does anyone have any questions about opening it up to the
I have a
zoning
comment.
overlay district?
No, I have a comment. What I would like to do, I would like just to stay where we're at right now. Just let's see what happens after the Planning and Zoning Commission for further review. But where we stand right now, I don't have any problem with this text amendment, but I'd like to have the input from the Planning and Zoning Commission and a public hearing. And I don't think we really need to act on anything tonight until we have the results of the public hearing.
Any other questions? Nope. Then we'll send this on to the Planning and Zoning for their review and their public hearing.
Thank you.
That's all we have under Planning and Zoning tonight.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Yes.
Danzy?
Yes.
Gunstein?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Ranky?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
We are adjourned.
Goodbye.